Rancor's Brothel presents The Big Sleep. A Cthulhu Mythos 5e adventure.
And they actually roll down like a rope ladder.
He probably works for her.
No. It's worth a shot.
He feeds me.
What was that?
Paws are tied.
She says, "I assure you are not under any suspicion of crime."
Then why?
There must be murder on your throat.
Not bad.
After a while, it's gonna suck.
No.
She says,
You just gotta keep the sentences
"I
short.
couldn't help but notice you are more useful than the other patrons. I'd like to record any of your observations while they are still fresh."
I believe the phrase of my people is, "Fuck you, pay me." I like the idea that Flynn is just silently miming like anything as a hype man to any of the things that we say. Thrusting in the air,
Rolling on
dangling
my
his
back.
balls.
Licking his own ass.
Oh, constant.
all the day.
Do that
All
thing
day.
where cats like hold the hind leg up and like completely spread eagle and then look at you with their butthole showing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Who loves Kitty? Who loves Kitty?
That's how I intimidate.
Fucking
It's
hate
a
cats.
stand-up, and I can't remember who did it. Anyway. Yeah, no, she basically orders you to come with her.
I just
She
don't
is,
think that's
she
going
is
to go
the law. It's a nice way of ordering. She's polite about it.
We're being voluntold.
Yes, you are being voluntary.
I look at the artificer.
I mime a shrug and it's just like, which is going to be easier?
I also shrug.
I'm going up the ladder.
She says, "Bring the cat."
Do you have
I'm cleaning myself.
Do you have a carrier? I'm not touching that thing.
It probably sits on the ghoul's shoulder.
I cast leash.
One of those backpacks that with a little like aquarium thing where I'm just like,
Perfect.
Closest I've got is snare, and that's a first level spell.
That'll work.
No, I could see a situation where Cyrus will just put like one clawed hand on the table and Flynn could just bound up and like nestle in the scraggly, scruffy hair, mane
Pussy,
fur.
gross flesh of the ghoul. Yeah.
yeah, we're
I
going
do
to
have-
find out how far you can throw me and how hard.
Oh, we
because
can
I
fastball
have
special.
land on your
Fuck
feet.
out
Fastball
of
special
this.
like a motherfucker for sure.
I take minimal fall damage,
You have to
which I
remember-
assume also includes throwing damage.
I mean, a throw is just a fall, but like horizontal.
Yeah.
It's probably slower than...
Just leave it to claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Cats
Wolverine the
always
fuck out of
do.
you just wait. I got some things coming for this build. We get a couple levels in. I think it'll be some good times.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are put into a wagon, and you are brought a few streets down to a building known as the Hall of Justice.
I like the thought that I'm put into a wagon and everyone else is sitting around me.
The wagon is put into you.
I am the table. It's
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
It's a large stone building that serves as the city's jail and courthouse, as well as the headquarters of the city guard and the Faith's Arbiters. You guys are put into a spare room for a minute while they sort of enter the other two into the system, if you will.
Are we locked in this room?
It's not locked, but the door is definitely closed.
Did they provide
It's not a
snacks?
cell. It's not a
Are we
cell.
observed in this room?
There is a guard outside. Yes. If you
Are
open the
there
door, there's a guard
refreshments?
standing there.
That's my question.
Yeah. There's
Punch and
finger
pie?
foods, punch and pie, water.
Is there a mouse?
Probably.
Is there a ventilation shaft in this room?
There may be a window. But after a moment...
Is there a window? It's a very important question right now.
After a moment, the old man looks at you and says, You did well back there in the tavern. You're free thinkers. You're not scheming toadies, you know?
Is that a slur in
Think
this
so.
culture?
I think it is.
Probably.
I mean,
I
Stog was...
slightly resent that statement.
As a cousin to amphibians, I'm a little perturbed, sir.
And after a little while, the woman returns.
The Arbiter or the dark-haired one?
The Arbiter.
Ah.
Sorry.
Very different scenarios.
The old man kind of holds up a hand and interrupts her immediately and says, Arbiter, I commend you for your hard work today. I must ask to leave now. I don't blame you for not recognizing me. If you have seen me outside the palace grounds recently, I take care not to be noticed. I am Atrax, King of Axfane.
What the hell?
Thought so.
If you need confirmation of my identity, send for Captain Rayhack. And the Arbiter just laughs. She says, oh, you're the king. It's one I haven't heard too often. And they kind of engage in conversation for a moment until someone literally runs up to her and says, the king is missing. I shit you not, this is how it's written.
So one would think the sheriff would know what the king looks like, regardless if he's been outside the palace a lot or
He's
not.
in disguise. Technically,
point-
she's not.
At the point that they run in and
right
say the king is missing, literally Cyrus just lifts one massive paw and points at the old man.
Yeah, and she just looks at the messenger and says, she says, send for Captain Rayhack. We have what he's looking for. And the guy runs off. He says, Your Highness, let's get you situated. She says, Your Highness, let's get you situated in a more suitable room. And she takes him out and leaves you alone for a moment.
This is bullshit. I want to go with the nice room.
Yeah, we're the princes.
After
We solved a crime and found the king.
You're a cat. You could have just followed
Hey,
him out.
See, this is where we need to have you a voice because all this fun stuff needs to be said to NPCs so that Lucas has to respond to your sass.
about 10 or 15 minutes later, door opens back up, and they say, a guard says, please come with me. And they bring you to a completely different room.
You need to be absorbed. You need to absorb a helm of telepathy, Flynn.
Yep, that's the one.
I can make one of those later.
King Atrax sits on a plain wooden chair.
Oh, I got a job for you.
Golden light streaming through the windows behind him. A pale, thin man in gleaming plate armor bearing the black boar sigil of Axfane stands beside him. Arbiter Reinhardt is also present, standing on his other side. Both warriors sort of appearing to be competing over who can seem more stoic. And the king, seemingly completely unaffected by or simply disinterested by their lack of good cheer, addresses you. As I was saying before, you acquitted yourselves well in the tavern. It is clear you are individuals of skill and savvy. And with that in mind, I have a proposition for you. And he takes a long drink of wine, as I almost dropped my book, from an enormous goblet.
Gablet?
From Wisconsin.
It's a Wisconsin goblet.
Gablet.
Got his gablet. Your friend.
You know what? Now I want it to be shaped like a turkey leg. Like it's you know it's got the bone, but it's got the whole like thigh going up, and it's just carved in the middle. It's gablet.
Just a gablet.
It's got the little dangly thing and
He sets it on the windowsill.
giblets in the bottom.
He sets it on the windowsill, and in the windowsill you also see next to where he sets the gablet.
God damn it! It's fucking stupid.
Well, I'm gonna go with it now. 4
Change his accent. That's his accent from now on. He's from Wisconsin.
4
Don't you know?
leather pouches, and the captain and the arbiter, who do not drink and do not move, sort of stand even more still. As the king wipes his mouth on his sleeve, he says, "See, these damned cultists are getting to be a real problem, and I'd like you to help me track them down, root them out, find out where they're meeting, where they get their victims, where they dump the bodies." Track it all back to the source so we can strike them down before they plunge the city into chaos.
Bodies.
Victims, yes. They're sacrificing people, I think.
Lunch for this guy.
He'll be eating well for days.
I mean,
He says
one man's trash.
He kind of
It's 3-course meal.
He looks over his shoulder at the windowsill and looks back to you and says, "Hey, the pay is generous. 250 gold pieces right now, just upon acceptance."
It's a trap.
I don't have pockets.
Somebody will hold on to your gold for you. Don't worry.
Throw in our guild fees, and you got yourself a deal.
Guild fees.
Guild fees. Ah, spellcasters. Done.
See how that works, fellas?
You are a prime negotiating mind.
So 250 up front. He never said anything about the other parts of the payment.
Though to be fair, I don't know what kind of world this is, but normally 250 G's is a pretty solid pay.
Yeah. It's pretty decent.
250 gold, not 1,000.
Yes.
Pete,
250 G's, 250
the
gold
letter
pieces.
for gold is G.
250 AUs.
Perfect.
That makes more sense.
250 hours.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, you're not wrong. Do we have an accord?
Do you need the bodies back?
He kind of looks at Arbiter Reinhardt, and she says, "No, but I'll give you 15 gold apiece for every sigil that you bring back to me."
Okay, good. We both get our way.
Sigil doesn't sound like the word hole to me.
Yeah.
So I can do some cool shit with some bodies.
Sigil, I mean, are we talking like a house thing?
It's a silver necklace with a pendant on it that is the emblem of the cult of Stathagua.
Okay. So
Oh. Okay. I was
cult
talking about
badges.
It's a cult. Yeah, it's a cult pendant is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
cult of personality.
15 gold.
I'm not even gonna sing it.
Look in my eyes.
That's it. That's all you can
What do you see?
That's enough.
Fucking sing it. It's parody.
God knows no one's gonna mistake us
Yeah.
for the originals.
So you will each receive 250 gold right now.
Troy already wrote it down.
Plus the
Taken care of.
guild fees.
Yeah. Spellcasting or arcane guild fees taken care of.
Can of tuna.
All the tuna you can handle.
Bumblebee tuna? Bumblebee tuna.
I
Lifetime
want
supply.
albacore. I want albacore.
You want
Done.
Solid
good stuff.
white.
Done.
And that cheap shit.
Done.
Do you have any magical weapons that help us on our quest?
Magical weapons that
No.
can help me speak with my mind.
No, but I wish I could.
I didn't really read that part of the book. Are magical items more or less present in this?
Yeah, no, they
World
exist.
and-
They exist. There are specific magic items to this scenario,
Yeah.
which will come up when they come up. But as of now, it's whatever. He says, I'm going to give you each a letter bearing the king, my sigil, my seal explaining that you are deputized members of the Faith Arbiters. As he points to Reinhardt, says you're authorized to gather evidence. You can question suspected cultists, intervene to stop cult activity in progress, and until the city guards or Faith Arbiters arrive, of course. Most citizens will respect the seal. They will cooperate with your investigation. Reinhardt does step in and says, let's be clear, you are not city guard. You are investigating the situation.
I know what I heard.
She hears,
I kind of don't.
I heard we've been deputized and are officers of the law.
Hell
That's what I
yeah.
heard.
she says, my resources are kind of stretched thin, so you are key to this investigation. There are 4 main questions that I want you to help sort of investigate when you're talking to people or when you're looking around.
Who? What?
What do the cultists believe?
Sathagua.
Where do they get recruits and funding?
Sathagua?
What are their plans?
Sathagua.
And why are they murdering people?
That's
That one's
easy
definitely
one. Yeah.
Sathagua. Like, I feel like we're at least 2 for 4 already, guys. It's like when you get the quest in the RPG and then you back out of the cutscene and it's already check marked off
What was
the
the
boxes.
third question?
The third, what are their plans? She says you can bring me progress reports at least every 2 days. Unless you have something significant that you need to interrupt my day with. Can also order a city guard to lend you assistance if I need to.
Cannon fodder. Or you get hungry. We get one of those.
They have to be dead first.
Can I get a city guard?
She says,
For one that's not too lean, but not, too chunky.
I
Trying to
say
watch my
marbled.
figure.
Yeah.
she says,
Marbling.
she says, these are, if you don't already know, they're cultists connected to an ancient idol worshiper known as the Green Monks.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
They are cultists connected to an ancient idol worshiper known as the Green Monks.
Billy Idol?
Any solid info that you can find, please absolutely bring to me. They worship something called the Toad Demon. We also know it as the Sleeper, whatever that means.
Hey guys, it's on the cover of the book.
Oh.
It says sleep like 4 times on the cover.
Oh shit.
It's a cult that's been around for over 400 years.
I think someone would have done something about it.
Someone in power with some guards or police.
They weren't really active until very recently. In fact, we thought we had snuffed them out.
It was the previous administration's problem. They didn't handle it.
Is the cult mostly a concern of this kingdom, or do you know if the other kingdoms have the same issues, or if it's spread that far?
It's a very good question. I mean, over 400 years, they could have spread to empires beyond our borders. As far as I'm aware.
How will our deputization go over in those other kingdoms? Well, I mean, obviously, like, we won't necessarily have the same.
You have the seal of Atrax of Axfane. That's
Right.
as far as you may go in terms of investigating the situation currently. His seal will probably not get you far in Yetiv and Lorenz.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. I don't know. Are these, two houses of Verona situation, or
Atrax almost chuckles a little bit and says, "The Queen of Yetiv would have me dead if she could."
okay? So don't show these outside of city limits. Got it.
He sort of shrugs and smiles. She says, it's a broad investigation. I could suggest maybe starting at the Abbey of St. Berthold. Father Joachim is an expert in heresies, demonology, eldritch threats. He might be able to supply you some information. The 2 individuals that you brought to us were found guilty of being cultists. The woman's name was Zusanna, Zsuzzanna.
Oh, Zusanna.
The man's name was Dominic, Dominik. She says, we found on them both emblems of Sathagwa. So your investigation and
Does that count as delivering 2 symbols to you guys?
Sounds like 30 Jeeps.
she sort of chuckles and says, no. But she does confirm that they are found cultists for sure.
What was our contact at the Abbey? What was his name?
Father Joachim, Joachim. Perhaps it's Joachim. She says, the woman, Susanna, she had a room in a small boarding house. Mrs. Vander's is what it's called. It's in the slums. Dominic was often seen in an inn called the Copper Coin. He rented a room there. If I were you, I would start with the Abbey.
Any other areas of more than or heavier cultist activity
That we're aware of, no. The victims' corpses have been found across the city, in every corner of the city. We're not sure where they're being killed, but based on the victim we found today, he was not killed where he was found. The body was dropped off somewhere, or perhaps was being transported to another location at the time that we found the suspects before we chased them down.
Would we be allowed to examine any victims that you may currently have? I'm looking out for it.
If you wish, you could see the body that we found today.
It might help.
Sure. And she bows to the king, who gives her a nod, and you can all follow her to a different room. She brings you to a different room. She says, we believe his name was Gregor Zim. He was some sort of passerby, a visitor to the city. We found no blood in the alley where the cultists were carrying him, so he was likely killed somewhere else. And when we asked around, we found that he had been staying in an inn called the Felled Oak. It's not too far from the alley where he was found, actually. A couple blocks down from the Three Skulls. You can investigate there if you wish.
What kind of wounds does homeboy have?
Multiple stab wounds.
Any pattern? How many?
Seems completely random. Front, back, side, everywhere.
At 2?
You was Caesar.
At 2, Brutus. At 2.
How long has the corpse been dead?
Not quite a day. Happened probably this morning. At this point, you're getting on into the evening of the day.
Right.
So are we still in prison?
We're not in prison. We're in a prison.
We're in.
Sorry, let's move forward. You've seen the victim, and you have some leads.
We got a lot of leads.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of leads.
It's almost as if they laid out the entire goddamn campaign for you. And now, are all these locations here?
Yeah, everything's in the city.
Well, you started talking about leaving city limits, and then you started talking about geographical locations.
He was asking about leaving city limits.
Well, I understand that. I didn't know if some of these were outside of city limits.
Which, by the way, is like a 3-week day's travel. Like a 3-week travel to get to like any... If you wanted to get to Yetfiin, real fucking far. It's not just over the border.
Let's do
I
it.
still don't know why the fuck we're here, because we're like literally in the ass end of nowhere with no reason other than to solve this mystery, which is fine. Welcome to D&D. But I was also like, so much.
It
for
never
your
matters. It always
immersion.
starts in a tavern, dude.
It doesn't always start in tavern.
It almost always starts
It
in a
almost
tavern.
always starts in a tavern.
Well, there are exceptions that
It's-
prove the rule.
It's the cliche starting point.
Horde of the Dragon Queen does not start in a tavern.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
No, it didn't. You're on a caravan and you ride into town and the place is on fire.
Right. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Same thing.
Curses.
It's moving.
You also
moving
altered the
tavern.
intro to that to make it more interesting.
The one where we had the carnival, didn't start in a tavern either.
Yeah, that's newer though. That doesn't count.
Yeah, it's different. You started at the carnival.
I was gonna say,
It's a fun tavern.
Ravenloft, but Ravenloft absolutely.
That
starts.
one's
Fucking
absolutely started.
big tavern. Yeah.
You're not in a tavern for long, but you're at a tavern.
Well, you have to burn it down somehow.
Tavern along the way.
You do often start a lot in jail. In Out of the Abyss, we started in jail. It's
Yeah.
pretty solid. Jeff,
Rough
I think
did
it's
it.
why Bethesda took that as a cliche starting point for every game they put out.
Oh yeah, starting in jail is a pretty solid.
At least you know why you're there.
It's true.
Unless you're in Morrowind and then you're like, I don't know. I'm just going to go watch
In
a guy
jail.
dive off a tree and then never fucking finish that quest.
Get sidetracked by side quests.
You're very
you
much
literally walk
being
out of the city
sidequest.
and some guy dives out of a tree and you're like, I'll never pick this up again because the journal in this game is garbage.
I feel like this is Lucas's impressions. If you've ever
played
finished whatever
Morrowind?
fucking quest he's talking about in Morrowind, right in.
Tell me how to do it because I have
Call
never
Lucas an
finished it.
idiot.
Send us a
I
message.
just want to get on a
Finish it.
Strider and go to Vivek and hang out in the library.
Nerd.
It's a beautiful city.
Says the man playing a cat.
Beautiful city. It's a beautiful city of Mayan pyramids that are for high elves.
If he's a cat, it's all sass. It's required.
So it sounded like we were supposed to go to the Abbey because that's the narrative thing, but the place where the body was found sounds like combat, and I feel like that
Yeah,
sounds
there
more
are
fun.
bars. There are
there's
seedy
options.
brothel places.
Yeah, no, there are options.
Like the
Well,
Abbey seems like the last place.
They're
to
gonna be
go.
like, oh, it
She
could be
suggested
Sathagwa.
seeing-
I'm like, I knew that. My cat sense.
Wasn't the
she
alley where
suggested
it was
speaking to the
found?
father because he may have more info, but
I thought it was gonna be annoying.
right, 100%.
maybe.
All the characters in here are going to be from goddamn Letterkenny.
Is Miss
make
Vander's
that work.
boarding house on the way to the Abbey?
City map?
Not really. No.
City map?
I don't even think they give me a city map. I ain't not gonna lie.
Why would the cat care about the brothel?
A sense of camaraderie, perhaps.
Yeah.
True.
Guys, I think we should go to the cat house. I don't know what it is, but it sounds pretty cool.
I hear there's a lot of pussy there.
Yeah.
See, now we need to add in the clips. If we're going to get 7 seconds, we need From Dusk Till Dawn.
So the copper coin is not that far from the tavern you started in. It's in the same section
We're not
of the
in the
city.
tavern we started in right now, so
No, I'm just giving you. I'm giving you a.
yeah, we have no
bit of a
favorite
lay of the
reference for that
land.
spot. So
We're thrown in a wagon and
Felled
taken
Oak
somewhere
Inn.
else.
The Felled Oak Inn is in a different area of the city. It's in a nicer area of the city, actually. It's actually still close to the tavern you're in, but it is in a slightly high, upscaled area. The Abbey of Saint Berthold is, well, based on where everything else is, I'm going to assume it's on the southern portion of the city. Oh no, I see it. Oh, it's actually outside of the city. The Abbey is outside of the city.
The place we're not supposed to go.
Damn.
It is, yeah, interesting. It's on the, oh god, this map is fucking stupid. Technically, it's on the southwestern side of the city, because for some reason north is on the right side of the page instead of the bottom of the page. Terrible way to make a map.
Hey, would you like me to fix that for you?
No. Not gonna move my book. Get the fuck off. What was the other place I gave you?
Miss Vanders.
Oh, the Copper Coin.
Miss Vander's copper coin. Yeah.
Mrs. Vanders. Mrs. Vanders.
Didn't you say that was next to the tavern already?
Yeah, I believe Mrs. Vanders is not far from the tavern either.
So most places are close to the tavern, which we have no idea. Well, I guess you said it was a few blocks away from the courthouse.
Yeah, it wasn't far from the courthouse.
But this bitch wants us to go to the furthest place away first.
Well, no, I mean, she just suggested it. You don't have to go there first.
Right, I'm just saying it's
We don't work for her.
to suggest that seems weird.
Because he is an expert in heresies and demonology and elder threats. That was why she suggested that first.
Lower dump. Got it.
So, your call.
So do you want to go to the brothel, the bar, or the back alley first? Or all three?
Wherever the body was found, I feel like is a great place to start.
I agree. So Felled Oak.
Felled Oak. So the Felled Oak Inn is in the northern part of the city. It is a half-timbered structure. The house is an inn. It's popular with visitors in the city. A variety of rooms available that meet the needs of almost any traveler. It has a communal dining room, a tavern for guests. It also features 2 baths that are rentable by the hour. It's built around a courtyard accessible to the guests with benches, flowers, an herb garden. The 6-foot wide stump of an ancient oak dominates the middle of the courtyard, lending its name to the inn.
Rentable by the hour.
The bathrooms are rentable by the hour. If you don't wish to rent an inn or rent a
Anybody
room.
else have the desire to wonder what those truck stop showers are like?
Real bad.
You think so?
Yeah, real bad.
I don't know. I actually saw a TikTok video where people were like, these are amazing. And like they did a tour of it. And I'm like, I'm actually really impressed. Like, yeah, I got to imagine that some of them are seedy, like, you know,
Oh yeah.
get jerked off in like a weird corner or something crazy shit going on. Like, absolutely. But like,
Flying J's, primo. Loves.
There was
Don't.
yeah.
yeah, no, there's got to be a scale, right? And it's just like,
I've been into some decent truck stops. Like
yeah, no, like in
care
that
of
place where it's like a single occupancy and like they clean it after people leave. Like, I got to imagine that that might be a really nice shower. I would definitely be tempted to try it.
You walk in, you see a woman standing behind the check-in desk.
I fling Flynn at her.
I'm allergic to cats. No, you see a woman standing behind the desk.
I hop up on the counter.
Hello. She kind of scritches your chin.
It's Mr. Whimples.
Mr. Whimples. Oh, he's adorable. We do accept animals here.
No, it's too
You had a choice.
Welcome to the Felled Inn. Welcome to the Felled Inn. What can I do for you?
Yes, I will immediately show our
The Felled
badges.
Oak Inn. I apologize. It's the Felled Oak Inn.
We are here on. I don't want to say
Where's the body?
King. Oh, the body's not here. We just saw the body, dumbass.
You literally have like
I know.
writs from the king.
I know. I just said I immediately show.
I start sniffing for dead things.
We're here to investigate the murder from this morning.
Murder?
Oh, there was a murder nearby. A Mr. Gregor Zim apparently was staying here.
She goes to her books. I stayed in room 6. It's one of our smaller basic rooms.
If there is adequate signage, I begin walking towards room 6.
She says, it's currently empty.
Already walking out of the room.
And you are showing her like the king's writ.
Yes.
She says, okay, yeah, sure. And she hands you a key to it. It is a unremarkable 10 by 10 room.
Ah, damn it.
Contains a bed and a chest.
I really wanted them to walk around the corner as I kick the fucking door off of its hinges.
Let me just find the key. Boom.
Just love the idea that she's like, hold on, I've got the spare. You guys come around the corner and it's just flown off of its hinges as I've kicked it. Troy bends down and puts the key in the lock as the door lays on the ground.
Got it.
Bed chest.
Everybody
go into
loves
the
a
bed.
decent bed chest.
What's under the bed?
You're a cat. Take a look.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's...
What about perception? It's cooler.
I.e., I have a better score than that.
He didn't say no.
Investigation.
God damn you.
Investigation.
That is
Oh, that's a nat 1.
That's bad.
You find nothing.
I found a bug, and I'm gonna
You
get
are
it.
totally chasing a cricket right now.
Seeing that he's looking at the bed, I will go over and with one hand lift the bed up and completely reveal everything underneath said bed.
I just do that.
Still an investigation check.
Still an investigation when I move the bed. Now I'm just looking at the floor.
It's a magic floor.
I gotta find something to punch soon, guys. It's just throwing it out
Getting
there.
the shakes.
I haven't eaten dead flesh or punched anything yet in the first 2 hours of recording. Investigation. I'm sure that'll go well. Plus imp modifier. 13.
Everything seems normal.
God bless you.
Would you like a little guidance?
Too late.
No. It can be the roll can be added before or after the check.
Yes, but the spell must be cast before the roll.
Yeah.
I will also open the chest.
Boycott
it is
bad
unlocked.
GMing.
Oh man, I really wanted to throw that chest against the wall.
Uh,
If you haven't figured out how I'm playing the game.
You just find some standard clothes. It's really all that's in there.
I root through and see if there's anything interesting in the clothes and all that, like turning out pockets.
Nothing strange, nothing cultish.
Has the room been cleaned?
No.
Okay.
I begin strongly banging on the walls and like slamming my elbow in and then slamming my forearm against it and then moving and slamming it again. It's like
You hear people in neighboring rooms going, "What the fuck is going on?"
boom, boom.
Someone's having some good sex.
I'm just going all the way around.
I'm trying to sleep in here.
Boom.
Isn't it
It's
like
afternoon.
That's it. Go through the wall.
He has a night job.
There's no other furniture
It's a
besides the bed and this chest.
No, that's it.
It's a barbarian's
very
version of
basic
looking
room.
for traps. Boom. Set off the trap. Boom. I think you would like Delicious in Dungeon if you've not seen it.
I haven't. I've heard it's good.
I really can't do anime. Like I
Yeah, I'm not a
struggle
big
so
anime
hard
fan.
because it starts and I'm like, okay, this is really, and we're off on another tangent. It's like squirrel. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? But like that.
So you said there's an investigation check under the bed for everybody. Who checks it?
2 people have already rolled. One we're going to move forward.
Good.
Nobody saw anything weird.
Boom.
Nothing strange on the walls. Just people wondering why the fuck someone's banging on the walls.
They can come talk to me about it if they have a problem.
Just
People
let
come
him
out.
fight something.
People come out going, "Excuse me. I'm going to go back to my room now."
I just get the sense that whenever I make the growl noise, he's just intently staring directly into the eyes of whoever's looking at him. And like the little dog thing where the lip curls over the canines. Yeah.
You see, you do see like a painting of a ship on the water.
In the room?
Catches your eye for some reason.
I flip it off the wall.
Wait, in
Nothing behind it.
Zim's room or... Okay.
There's nothing behind it. Just for some reason it caught your eye.
Is there anything else in this room you did not mention?
First, there were only 2 things in this room. Now there's a 3rd thing.
No, it just for some reason the ghoul looks at this painting and goes, "Huh," and then for some reason rips it off the wall.
I will pick it back up.
It's a beautiful painting.
I'm going to stare at it because my visionary lets me see weird stuff in art and words if it's there. If there's anything that's like esoteric or
It's
weird or...
I wouldn't say it's esoteric. It's a ship sort of teetering to its side. The waves appear to be somewhat choppy. The stars kind of are in a spiral pattern.
Oh.
Uzumaki.
I'm just going to stare at it for a minute.
Yeah, nothing strange.
The stars start to move.
Hitting the catnip pretty hard.
So the boat is on the left of the painting. So that means the stars are right.
Mm-hmm.
Started out there. It's a massive connection. It's all interconnected.
The king's
nice
behind
painting.
it all.
It's a really nice
Calling
painting.
it now.
Turning the frogs gay, man. This is what happens. It's Thagwa. Buy my water!
You find anything else of use in this room at this point? The young woman comes to the door and says, anything? Anything okay?
Is this painting your guys' painting you put in this room?
I'm not sure. The owners must have purchased it when they decorated the room. Every room has a painting in it.
Which person came out of what room? The one room to the left or to the right?
To the left.
Boom! I bang on their door because I know they're there.
They're not coming back out.
I bang again.
Police.
No, you're not the police. That was the instruction.
I don't
They
care.
don't
They
know
don't know that.
He has the badge.
I
He
hold up
has
the badge
authority.
to the peephole.
Can I help? What?
Painting.
What about it?
In your room.
Yeah?
I will try and push past him to look at the painting that's in their room.
It's of a couple of cottages in a nice setting.
Stylistically similar.
Completely different style. Much more vibrant, beautiful. Different signature.
I will knock on the next room.
You will find a different painting in every room.
Sure, but starting to look at them, is this one of the series? Is this included? Is this anything weird?
It's almost like they went to Hobby Lobby and just bought what they could.
Okay. Just curious. I didn't know if like the only one looks like Starry Night or, Edward Munch's The Scream and everything else has a pastoral scene, then that seems more important.
No, it's it's a beautiful painting. It calls to you.
Well, I failed my investigation check, so
Nope. I'll go,
Evidence.
and I tear the painting out of its frame and roll it up and shove it in my bag.
Sure. Whatever you need.
He also goes back and hangs very properly the frame, the empty
Just
frame.
little bits of fabric still in the corners.
Correct. Oh no, his claws are very sharp. Like it's a nice, clean X-Acto knife cut. There's probably very little phrase there.
Sure. If there's nothing else,
I'm adding it to my character sheet.
we
How long was Mr. Zim in this room?
a couple of days.
Do you happen to know, did he say anything about where he was from, where he was going, why he was here?
Most of our patrons, we don't exactly get to know them firsthand. A lot of them are visitors to the city. Some of them are merchants. Some of them are simply passing through.
did you ever see him talking with someone? I will meow to you to ask her.
I will ask that question.
I love the idea. It's like meow meow meow, and then he turns and says,
Did he have any guests?
No. He didn't spend a lot of time here. He was out and about in the city. From what I recall, he didn't have anyone visit. He's a very nice man.
Did he seem to have a particular routine? Did you notice if he always left and went right outside when he left? Did that strike you in any way?
He had coffee in the mornings, and you would have seen there's just like a small table with fresh coffee there.
Percolating.
It's not exactly like a continental breakfast, but like that's basically what they have. And then he went about his day. I'm not sure where he went from here. But again, he was only here for a couple of days. I didn't really get a chance to gather much.
Cyrus will start to stalk out. It seems that this is dried up as a source of evidence.
Moving right along.
Brothel.
Brothel?
Yeah.
I don't think that's one of your leads, but you can find one.
This is somebody's. Miss Vanders. Sounds naughty.
As a boarding house, not a brothel.
We know. We know what.
I mean, that's what we are in some countries, the Rancor's boarding house.
So are you going to Mrs. Vanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, the brothel.
Thank you all for listening. The Big Sleep was written by Sandy Petersen and Jonah Baumgars. Music by Ian Shannon. You can find us online at rancorsbrothel.com or join in the conversation on Facebook at Fans of the Rancor's Brothel.